Sean, we're just down here I've just interviewed your lads because you've got 3 a week on Saturday at Doncaster Racecourse, where we hope to get Reece back where he wants to be, which is fighting for titles.
Yeah, I've got 3 on Reece against, what they call him? Tough
Joshua Bendama, who's fought on our shows a few times. He's very tough, mate.
He's a tough lad, yeah. I think Reece might be in a bit of bother there, to be honest. Might go a long way for him.
But then, and we've got the other 2 lads, Will Harrison and young Josh Hargreaves.
We have Willie Wacker and Ernie, respectively. We've had to change his name, Will, because he called himself Will the Thrill. But you can't have that, because Jordan Gill's the Thrill. So we changed it to Willie Wacker. It suits him better, actually, you know what I mean?
But what I wanted to talk to you about, because I never got a chance to talk to you after Josh's performance when he regained the world title against little...
Kiko? Yeah. Good performance. I mean, overall, I'm very, very happy with it. You would be, wouldn't you, when you're getting your old belt back. Not without a few knocks, so I mean, bit of damage to his hand, not so serious, just bruised and swollen.
Broken jaw in the last...
Broken jaw, again.
Was that in the last flurry of that when he threw that about 20 odd punches at him? He got caught with one of the shots in, and that's what he said to me at the time, but obviously he couldn't talk too well. So I might have got it wrong.
I think it was just before that. I think it happened just before that, and that's what kind of made him pick it up. He took it up again and went for it. So yeah, I think it was just before that, Lee, to be honest.
It was one of those. He came out in main business, didn't he? Straight away. It reminded me of the Frampton fight, you know, because it was ferocious the way he started out, and so dominant as well.
Absolutely. For anybody watching this, I'm not on gear. I've got a sweet in my mouth, look. Oh, I've just lost it. Put it back in. Yeah. Just before anyone starts making comments about me being on gear and all that and jaw swinging, it's what have we got? Jakeman's blackcurrant menthol. That's proof.
Other sweets can be bought, you know.
Yeah.
We're not promoting them, are we?
Yeah, there are other sweets available on the market, but I like them. So where were we again, Lee?
We were talking about Josh and...
I think we had to make a statement, didn't we? I don't think it would have been enough coming back and winning a long drawn out points decision, or did he really win it or didn't he really win it? I think we had to put it beyond judges and beyond any doubters, really, that here we are, we're out back and we're out back.
Did you have that plan from day one? We're going in there. Was that always the intentions to? Because I remember speaking to you before the Frampton fight, and you know, you surprised a lot of people with where you started that fight, and it just reminded me so much of that fight, the way he came out, and he was just an absolute demon.
Very similar game plan, to be honest. And now you've mentioned it, more or less exactly the same, yeah, because my parting words to him were, if you see a clear opportunity, only when you've got him in sights, you see a clear opportunity, take it. Don't matter if it's first minute, first round, second round, fifth round, seventh round, it don't matter. Be patient, but if the opportunity arises, take it.
How do you handle, you know, like obviously, Josh, when you get to this level, you get your lovers and your haters and everything.
Yeah.
But everyone wrote Josh off, really, you know, after his last performance. They just wrote him off and they said he's got no chance and stay clear of the kid who beat him. And it's like, was that a nice way of just giving him 2 fingers and going, yeah, look what I've just done, and considering the way he beat Kid Galahad?
Well, you could look at it like that, but listen, all them knockers and that anyway, usually know fuck all about boxing, and have never done anything at all remotely anywhere near boxing, so they're wankers anyway. I don't even listen to them. I'm more bothered about cracking on with business and what we get out of it, you know what I mean?
Do you feel Josh turned back? Because I remember speaking to him, and he said physically his body, you know, he felt like he felt like 5 years younger.
Yeah, I think we did approach it slightly different. A lot more rest, but a lot more intense training. We've kind of we started training now with a little bit more intensity for a shorter period of time, but giving them longer rest, you know. So yeah, I mean, he did look in good shape, and you know, people will say, I mean, you still get your haters, it'll be yeah, but Kiko's like 40-year-old or whatever it is, I don't know. You'll still get them, but putting all that to one side, looking at his condition and his fitness and his, I think he believed in himself again, didn't he? You know, all them factors together resulted in that
Because
performance.
when you've never been beat before, and then you know you get a draw. I know was it a technical draw? Was it? Is that how they call it? Technical draw.
Technical draw.
But when you've never suffered defeat or any blemish on your record before, you've got to throw a little bit of doubt in your head, hasn't it?
Yeah, of course it does. But I mean, everybody out there, you know, you've got to understand that everybody who's watching that fight's an expert on boxing, aren't they? It don't matter how many millions are out the world, every single one of them's an expert. You know what I mean? What do I know? I don't know, no. Anyway, the thing is this, I'll say it because Josh probably won't. With Lara defeat initially, I think without making excuses, I can give reasons rather than give excuses. Remember, we'd been inactive for about 15, 16 months. We'd kind of gone in, we had 3 dates that were all cancelled, so we'd done 3 camps. Fourth time round, after having COVID, change of opponent 2 weeks before. And I honestly believe now, looking back, after my own personal experience with COVID, I believe it had a lot to do with it. I don't think it was because there was no crowd there. I mean, you get them all again, experts. Josh thrives off a crowd, which he does. I think anybody thrives off a crowd.
Do you also think there's also a bit of that underestimating him as well? Because, you know, when he was going into the ring,
Massively.
people were just saying, not, you know, how are you going to win, but what round you're going to stop him in. That's what we were saying.
Massively, massively. I think that was a major factor.
Right, sorry, battery just cut out. Well, he didn't actually. The camera just overheated a little bit. So we were talking about underestimating Lara.
Yeah, I think that was a factor as well. I mean, prior to the fight, I did an interview, and I think he actually said it there live. I'll have this kid out in a couple of rounds, something like that. I think that was a factor, but I also think that, I mean, he'd COVID beforehand as well. Nobody still don't know what that does to you, but I don't know, it's a long recovery. As it was for myself, I thought I was alright and I thought I was better, but I wasn't, you know. So we don't know, that could have been a factor, but inactivity.
Well, then let's go back to the second fight with Lara, because obviously, you know, it was a technical draw, but did you get enough out of that fight to be confident about going into the Kiko fight that he would win it?
Yeah, I did myself. I think what we did is, after you suffer a bad defeat, and particularly a bad knockout and injuries that he suffered, I think you need to, you ask questions of yourself. And I think there's boxes that need ticking, and I think just by accepting that fight again and turning up, I think you ticked your boxes. The fact that it ended in a technical draw, I think is neither here nor there. It was a different Josh Warrington on that second fight. It was tight. It were, you know, from where I were, Lara were flying. He didn't want to be there. It was clear he didn't want to be there. You know, and listen, you don't work on a cut for a minute and then call referee, do you, and doctor?
No.
You know what I mean? Clearly don't. I'm not insinuating that they were all kind of untowards the cheating bastards.
It's weird that though, because the cut was really bad, and yet he managed to get out the week before Josh did. So I was surprised about that, because I thought he would have been out for a lot longer than that.
It was a bad cut. It was a terrible cut, but let me tell you, that cut, when the referee parted them, they were close to us. And you can see that. And that cut wasn't like that then. That cut weren't like that when he went back to that corner. Because I tell you now, Steve Gray, very experienced referee, doctor there, very experienced doctor, they would have absolutely instantly says, let's have a look.
Well, what's the update now on Josh? Because obviously, you know, he suffered the broken jaw and the damaged hand. So the operation went well. He had it all fixed near enough the next few days after the fight, didn't he? So is he healing well and everything?
He's healing well. His hand, there's no problems there. And I think, to be honest, with his jaw, it was a nice clean break. That's healing up nicely. He's got a little plate in there as well, give it a bit more stability. I don't think we're going to see him out before Christmas, if I'm honest. But yeah, he's healing well and he'll be back again.
And what will be that fight before Christmas? Is it still that Vegas thing? Is that still where you want to go? Oh, not Vegas, but America. Is that still?
Well, it'd be nice. I think it's about him doing what he wants to do now at this stage in his career.
Sorry about this, Sean. It keeps overheating the camera. It's because you're hot stuff.
Because I'm hot stuff. Hot stuff, Lee.
But we was talking about Josh's return and his healing and how everything's healing really well. Hands getting better. Next thing is when do you think he might be out again?
To be honest with you, I think he's mentally healed. Physically, he's still mending, but mentally he's healed. If he had his way, he'd be out next week, wouldn't he? But I honestly think that we need to give it time. We need to make sure it's 100%.
Do you think it will be, if it's going to be this year, it's going to be very late on this year?
I think it'll be Christmas time, I'll be honest with you.
And if that is, will it be in America? Because that's where he wants to fight, isn't it?
I'd like it for him, really. I'd like it to be in America for him because it's one of the things that he wanted to do. So it'd be nice that, I think he's probably got 2 fights left, one of them over there and then a big sign-off over here. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? America would be alright, yeah, I fancy that.
That's exciting because of what Lee Wood's just done. And, you know, if he can go over to America, he goes and wins over there, then that's got to settle. But as long as Lee Wood keeps winning, then that's got to set them two up. That could be
well, that's it. I mean, has it been ordered now? Lee Wood got a fight.
Santa Cruz, isn't it?
Santa Cruz, which is fight that we wanted, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But listen, I'll be honest with you, I think Santa Cruz beats him. I really do. I mean, Michael Conlan can't punch, really. Santa Cruz, you know, he's a tricky fighter. And you've seen Michael Conlan there. I don't mean that disrespectful with Michael Conlan. But what I mean is Santa Cruz is a busier fighter. You know, when Santa Cruz comes at you and he throws it.
But you don't fear any of them, though, do you? You don't really care who it is. Any of them you feel Josh beats.
Oh, so, yeah, absolutely.
You know, any of the world champions and anyone who's potentially going to be a world champion by the time it happens.
Santa Cruz or Lee Wood. I mean, listen, what happened there with Lee Wood, he beat Kanzo, which is our initial fight.
Yeah.
But you know and I know, like everyone says, that wasn't the real Josh Warrington lost to Lara. No, it wasn't.
And that wasn't the
real Kanzo. You know, so it's one of them where, listen, it is what it is. We could argue all night, couldn't we, boxing? But I'll say
what's nice though is
I'll say here and now that I still believe he's best featherweight on planet. I really do. Not just going on last performance, but I still believe he's best featherweight that there is, to be honest with you.
Well, as I say, the performance, it was outstanding, and that's what you wanted. You know what I mean? It was absolutely vicious, and it looked like he like he said before the fight, he felt 5 years.
I tell you who got lucky as well. I've only just seen that Jordan Gill thing when he pulled that knockout.
Yeah, he did.
Fantastic. And it's interesting, really, because up until I seen Jordan after our fight, and he sat there, all full of himself, and said, "I think Lee beats Josh." I hadn't seen his fight up until then, but I wish I had done, because I tell you now, they both got lucky, Lee Wood and Jordan Gill, very, very lucky, very lucky in their last fights.
Well, listen, we'll leave it on that. I can't wait to speak to Josh when he's back in the gym training hard for whenever that will be. But like I say, it looks like there's going to be a couple of more big nights for him, isn't there, at least?
There will be, you know, there'll be a couple of big nights for him, but I'm getting excited about my youngsters now that are ready to bill off at Leeds. They're just in the process of transitioning.
On May the 28th, they all get there.
May 28th, they're all out.
Reese is topping the bill there. He's not the youngster, but he is the most experienced, and hopefully at some point he will be getting to challenge for those titles again.
Hopefully.
Right, we'll leave it at that, and I'll see you soon.
Cheers, Lee. Thank you.
I'll see you a week on Saturday.
I'll see you a week Saturday.
Nice one, mate. Oh, well, I'll see you this Saturday as well at Mark Bateson's show.
Oh, are you? Yeah, I'm going down there.
See you later, mate. Bye.
See you, mate.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.